know, chat, funny story. Every time I'm sitting here, right, once I hit the go live button, every time I'm like, damn, I think I'm forgetting to do something. And I'm always right. I always forget to do something. It just like takes me 30 seconds to figure it out. Been on fly killing duty all day. Anyways, what up, chat? How we all doing? Hope you're all doing well. So, yeah, I know. Dude, this fly is kind of crazy. Like that Breaking Bad episode. I know I said that we were going to play Pokemon Shield today. I forgot to set up my Switch again. So we'll do that next week. That could be a good next week plan. This week, we're going to build in Cobblemon more. Not a bad plan. I don't think it's a bad plan. Good evening. What's up, Yoshi? How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Easy lol W. Discord with my friends. Someone said I'll be on later tonight for those who have tomorrow off for the holiday. I said tomorrow's not a holiday, silly. Saturday is. W. Alright, chat. What the fuck? See? I always forget to do something. Alright. So yeah, I forgot to set up Pokemon Shield. I won't lie to you guys. But on Tuesday, in the spirit of honesty, I had fun just kind of hanging out and building a little bit. So I'm down to continue that. I think we're doing pretty good. I think everything we've built so far looks great. I think the house looks great. I think this looks great. I think this looks amazing. I really like how the enchanting area turned out. I think the little entryway looks great. I think everything we've built looks amazing. We wouldn't have made the pentagram if it weren't for Tuesday's vibe sesh. That's what I'm saying, man. And here's the thing. I was thinking about it. Oh, this? I love this. Here's the thing. I think I want Chansey to come from the pentagram. Like, I don't think I want to hunt Chansey. I think I want it to come from the pentagram. Because it technically can spawn here. And I think it's way funnier that way. But today, what we're going to work on, chat. Oh, you know what I should do? Open camera 1 and just park it right here. So we can just quickly check if there's a Chansey. Because we're going to be over here. Because we have to take this hill down. This hill is where the Pokemon lab is going to be. So we kind of have to level this out. Which is going to be a bit of a task. Now I wonder, actually. I know I made a bunch of diamond shovels already. I just wonder, how easy would it be from where we're at to finish the enchant setup and maybe get like a high efficiency unbreaking 3 shovel. Because I think if you get efficiency high enough, you can insta-break grass and dirt, like without the need for like a haste beacon. You also believe that's true? I think it's true. What Pokemon drop leather? Those aren't Pokemon. These aren't Pokemon. Pokemon drops. Mudbray. Okay. Okay, so just like all of the horse and deer and bull and all the cattle Pokemon. Got it. Wooloo was not on that list, but Bouffalant was. See, because now, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy. Oh, I should look at rates actually. Do swords have any? Okay, so you can. So base Cobblemon, like if you change nothing, vanilla mobs will still spawn. I don't like that, so I have another mod that stops vanilla mobs from spawning, but you can also just so you know, you can do that. I think the big downside to doing that is your Pokemon don't get XP. Yeah, it's better to just do it with Pokemon for the XP. Because I think they need the XP more than I do. Even if it's like a little less efficient. I think it's a good idea still. Speaking of good ideas, you know what I think we're going to do actually? Unless you're about to go enchanting. Actually, that's a good point. You make a good point. Maybe it is better for me to do it this way. Because we are about to start enchanting. I should also... because we need honey bottles. I think it's also more efficient, like, if I was truly trying to get these things to work, I think it's more efficient for resetting spawns to just walk around just clobbering the Pokemon. So how is it that there's always like a billion Miltanks in this biome, except for when I need them? What's that about? Oh, Bouffalant. Now here's the other side of it. I think, yeah. Sometimes they attack you. But I don't think I have to be worried about that. I don't know how effective the Pokemon are against full diamond armor. So we're really just looking for... You didn't know they could attack you? Yeah, they can. They got hands. They can't hit me with, like, Hyper Beam, thankfully. LeChunk, I think you're saved. I don't think you were on the list. I'm gonna do this. Miltank. Oh, I got rid of the word. I split up the word pincer. Miltank. Combi. Oh wait, I think Bouffalant's also been pretty... Can I spell Bouffalant though? I think that's how you spell it. Oh, Miltank's kind of got hands. Chad, I was at the... There should be legendaries that attack you unprompted. I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool, yeah. Imagine if you kill enough Pokemon, like Arceus spawns and just starts hitting you with Hyper Beam. Ignores all armor. Okay. Okay. Final boss. There is, I learned, there's an add-on mod, because legendaries aren't in base Cobblemon yet. I thought that fur was shiny. The legendaries aren't in base Cobblemon yet. There's a side mod in the popular mod pack people play is called Cobbleverse that I didn't know existed when I started, or else I probably would have just played that. But there's a mod in there that when you get the achievement for killing the Ender Dragon, it force spawns a shiny Rayquaza. Which I think is pretty cool. Oh, Audino. Wow. That's not Chansey. Did you know that, chat? Did you know that Audino isn't Chansey? Pretty cool and fitting, yeah. I think it's cool. There's also... there's not many Miltanks right now. Which kind of sucks. For some reason, a lot of side games treat Rayquaza as the final boss Pokemon. They don't want to get into it with Arceus. I think... Can I be honest? I think part of a final boss is aura. And I just don't think Rayquaza's got that. Or I don't think Arceus has that much aura. Can I be honest? Is that going to get me in trouble? If I say I don't think Rayquaza's got aura? Let's go check here. Let's go see if there's a Jinx there. There might be. You used to agree, but some people have pulled its true potential out. Nah, you right. Thank you. Who has pulled out Arceus' true potential? Oh, shit. Almost 9/11 that hill. I think if Pokemon was less family-friendly sanitized, Arceus would be a demon. Oh, I could see it. I was talking about it with one of my friends at the gym the other day. This is like not at all related to what we're talking about right now, but I've been thinking a lot about it since we talked about it. Doesn't it low-key kind of suck to be a fan of Pokemon sometimes? And by sometimes, I mean all the time. Like, think about it. Think about it. You are... Oh. What a time save. Holy. Think about it. You're at the grocery store. Grocery shopping, it sucks, right? Not the most fun thing in the world, but you get through it. Fuck. Free fossil? But you get through it anyways, and then you're heading towards the register, and you're like, you know what? I deserve a little reward for getting my grocery shopping done. I found a dream string in the darkness. I deserve a little reward for getting all this grocery shopping done. I'm gonna pick up a pack of Pokemon cards for myself to celebrate. Nope, wrong. Always sold out all the time. Literally never not sold out. Thanks, Jake Paul. Yeah, shout out Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Pokemon cards are always sold out. Literally can never find them. Go on TikTok. Got some fucking unemployed jackass opening 30 Elite Trainer boxes. And then it's like, okay, whatever. I can't open cards. That's fine. Oh, hey, look. The Chicago Field Museum is doing a really cool Pokemon fossil exhibit. I wonder if I can get tickets to that. Nope. Tickets sell out instantly. Better luck next time, dummy. Thankfully, they're doing it for 2 years, but you know, you wanted to go. Nope. Tickets are sold out. Oh. Pokemon's 30th anniversary is this year, and they're doing a whole side event at Worlds in San Francisco. Man, that sounds like it'd be really fun, but you know, I'm a normal employed person. I have to wait until the timing gets a little closer to see if I can, you know, afford the plane ticket and the hotel. Oh, maybe I can. Okay, let me try buy. Nope. Turns out actually that for Pokemon Worlds, you have to 3 months ahead of time know that you're gonna go for sure, enter a raffle for the multi-day tickets. You have to enter a raffle for multi-day tickets, and then put your email in, and then maybe you can get a 3-day pass. And then if you don't get pulled for the 3-day pass, you get put in line to buy a 1-day pass, and they don't let you buy multiple 1-day passes. You can actually only decide, do you want to go Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? You don't get to pick all three because you're employed and didn't, or you just got unlucky and didn't join the raffle. Hey man, that's okay. I don't want to go to, I don't have to go to the World Championships. Maybe I can just buy some merch from the Target collab. There's some pretty cool stuff in the Target collab that they're doing to celebrate their 30th anniversary. It's a little, the jacket's cool, but it's a little pricey. Maybe I can get like the Jigglypuff t-shirt. Maybe I can get the Jigglypuff t-shirt or the Gengar t-shirt. Or maybe I can get the keyboard. The keyboard looks pretty cool. Oh, what's that? Oh, the drop released at 9 a.m. on a Monday. So I actually have to go to my job instead of sitting outside a Target, and everything is going to sell out instantly. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I guess I'll just go fuck myself. That's fine, I guess. What are we doing, man? Oh, and then it's like, oh, somebody else that also enjoys this franchise is super cool and talented and wanted to share their talent with the rest of the world by making their own project and pouring their own time, money, and effort into making a cool project to share with the community because we all love the same thing, and they did it out of the love of their heart and they have no intention on making any profit from it. Oh, what's that? Nintendo found out about it and shut the whole thing down? Oh, how awesome. what are we doing, man? It's crazy. It's like absolutely just an insane. Anyways, I figured out that I'm into masochism recently. I try to buy a pack for Kid Me like 3 times a year, and they're always just, dude, they're always just gone. Unless you want to pay like triple. You know what the hack is though? I've been doing some traveling this summer. I think if you want a reliable source of Pokemon cards, it's simple. Buy a plane ticket, go through TSA. They, on like the inside of the airport, like once you get through TSA, always have Pokemon cards. There's literally always Pokemon cards. My main problem is that I'm right in the middle of Pokemon fans where I'm not hardcore enough and don't know every single little fact, but I know more than Pikachu, Jigglypuff, and Charizard. Yeah, I think it's just like, I don't even think it's a matter of like, how hardcore of a Pokemon fan are you? It's like, are you a functioning member of society or not? Because I think you have to be like I think to like be the person that sits outside of Target at 9 a.m. just so they can buy the Pokemon merch so they can resell it at a higher value. You have to be like a special kind of like not a functioning member of society for that. And I do also think, Nintendo, you haven't escaped my grasp here. I do think some of it's on Nintendo. And, like, the Pokemon Company in general. Because, like, they gotta know, right? Like, the TCG, like, the trading card problem, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little Nintendo, like, cuck. But with the... Dude, literally instantly rolled efficiency 4. Maybe I'm just, like, a little Nintendo cuck. But with the trading card problem, I kind of understand why Nintendo... Like, why Pokemon can't really do anything about it. Because it's like... At the end of the game, at the end of the day, the TCG is a game where they're hosting official tournaments and like it is a living competitive environment. So the answer really can't be just print more cards, LOL. Because at some point you run into like a balancing problem with the game, right? Because it's like even if like the chase cards aren't the good cards, you do like you need to put other cards in there. And like so your options are either make the good cards so rare that nobody uses them or make the good cards more common. But I feel like that would just like break the meta of the TCG. This is also coming from somebody that doesn't play, so I don't know. I think at some point, because I for a long time, I was just print more cards, LOL person. And then I think I heard from someone that does play the game, and they're like, well, no, you can't. Because it breaks the game if you do that. Like, you can't have, 300. Like, not everyone can have 6 of the best card in the game. That's just, like... bad for game balancing. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair, actually. I didn't consider that. That looks like a cave. Right? Oh, it's me. I did this. Okay. I just need XP. But I understand that. I'm very understanding of like that part and that part alone. But for, like, the other things, you know, for, like, pretty much everything else, it feels like there is more we could be doing, but we're just, like, choosing not to do them. And, like, that kind of sucks, you know? Just, like, having, like, whole swaths of your fan base just, like, completely unable to interact with your franchise in any way that they want to. Just, like, it's always just sucks. And then, like, on my end, it's like, dude, what am I supposed to do? Personally, I don't think so. If you're playing competitively, you'll just buy all the meta cards, and also using a whole bunch of copies of meta cards is usually not good anyways. Goomy! Yeah, like, yeah, I guess the closest analogy to it that, like, I would understand is, like, a couple of my coworkers play Magic, and I guess they do, like, I guess you can just buy, like, the single card, but I think the resale market is, like, also so fucked. I guess maybe print more LOL does solve that. Well played, thank you. I don't know what I did, but thank you. Okay, these are not giving me XP like I thought they did. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like it feels like one of those things that when I think about it, it's like, how is this sustainable to do at all? But, like, they have yet to need to change it. And it just sucks. That's all. That's my rant for the day. Is sometimes it really does suck being a Pokemon fan. The resale market is fucked, but usually it's more so packs and boxes rather than every single individual card. But I think literally, like, since like Logan Paul has just, like, shoved his fist up the market, like, now, like, if I wanted, I do have, like, a collection of, like, nice rare cards. I have no intention on, like, putting them for sale on the market, but I do, like, have an interest in getting them graded. Just for fun, right? I think, like, for me, having, like, a PSA 10 card that means something to me is, like, worth it. You know what I mean? Like, it exists in this weird spot in my brain that's, like, getting cards graded to sell them, I think, is dumb, but to collect them, I think, is fine. And I'm also aware that that's kind of like an arbitrary distinction, but it's how my brain sees it. And I found all of my Pokemon cards from when I was a kid a little while ago. I might have even talked about it. And I put all of the, like, really, really nice, really, really rare ones in, like, the case you would carry You know, like a case you would use to carry a playing deck around it. And I was like, hey man, it'd be cool to get these graded, right? I went to check, and at the time, it was $20 a card to get cards graded. It was $20 a card. And then if you did their, like, this is how I also know everything is fucked. If you did PSA's annual subscription, if you got a PSA Pro subscription for grading your cards, paid one time for the full year, they would give you a discount on your card grading. And, you know, after, if you have a stockpile of rare cards that you don't care about anymore that you want to sell, then I think it's fine. But if you're getting them just to sell the good ones and not value the more common ones, I didn't even like want to sell them. I just wanted to grade them to like have graded cards. Probably something about like societal acceptance or something. But at the time, they would give you like a discount. It was like $25 per card. The annual subscription was like $200. And then if you had the annual subscription, it brought the individual card down to like $20 a card. And then you could like, if you did it in bulk, they gave you another discount. So it was down to like $17 a card. And I have enough cards to do it in bulk. And I was like, okay, obviously I don't have, you know, again, hi, normal functioning member of society here. I don't have enough money just laying around to, you know, 17 times like 70 plus the annual subscription. I don't have that kind of money just laying around. So let me put these up. And like when I have time, I will, you know, I'll send the cards out to get them graded. And I'll do it all like one time. And I was even thinking like, man, that could be like a fun stream, right? Like I got, you know, all these cards. I got all these cards graded. Like because they send them back to you in a little box. And then, like let's open all the cards that I got graded from PSA and just like add up the value, see what the collection's worth. Like I think that's a pretty interesting video. And it's like, this is now my Pokemon card collection, right? Well, guess what happened the other day, chat? I went to PSA.com because there's so many fuckers. Because there's so many fuckers grading their cards. It's $80 a card. Huh? $80 a card. Turnaround time 40 to 50 business days. You're telling me I have to pay $80 and then wait 2 months? Brother. That isn't even worth it for reselling anymore. That's the thing, is for some cards, it's still worth it. For some like new cards, if you sell it like raw, it's like $20. If you grade it and it comes back a PSA like 9, it's like $700. So it's still worth it. It's still worth it for these fuckers to do it, dude. Fucking pissing me off, man. And, like, there's other options. But the problem is... there's other options, right? I guess Beckett's not bad. What the fuck are subgrades? What is this? I don't know what subgrades are. I guess $17 a card, like, that gets me back to where I was. But, like, holy shit. PSA's just fucked now. I'm just trying to enjoy my little Pocket Monsters game, okay? Instead, I gotta deal with all these fuckers that would rather crack packs instead of getting a job. Is it a recession indicator? Maybe. Maybe it is. Doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Why does my hobby have to be competitive? And the best part, even when this phase ends and Pokemon isn't as desirable, it's still going to be $80. Yeah. Because why would they choose to charge you less once they know they can get away with charging you more? If people are willing to pay the $80, why would they ever again charge $20? It's just like, dude, why couldn't these guys, like, stick to fucking sports, man? Stick to goddamn sports cards. Stay away from my Pocket Monsters. Oh, wait. I remember how I said I was going to get XP. I remember. Do I have a deep dark? Stone, temple. File chambers for copper. Swamp, lush cave. A fossil thingy. Do I have a waystone for one? Have I found? I know I have found a deep dark. Just did I waystone it? Ancient City. What's up, fuckers? Can't I just... Ha ha ha! I forgot to make a new pickaxe. That's fine. Do I have sticks in my... But yeah. That's it. That's my rant for today. That's what I've been thinking about for several days. Is how hard it is to like things. To just be a fan of Pokemon. Every day more and more I find myself wishing the franchise never got to be popular, even if that means it ended in Gen 2. I think... Anyways, Yoshi, earlier when you were talking about people that know every little detail about Pokemon, actually, Pokemon was a very niche thing still until Generation 5. Generation 5 is like when it really started, like, popping. I do truly think, like, truly, genuinely, I wish nerds didn't become cool. I just think, like, the part about it that sucks for me is now when Logan Paul or Jake Paul get into like a new thing, when they have like a new thing of the week, they get like largely like pretty well isolated from the rest of the fandom. Oh my god, you didn't give me what I wanted. Efficiency 4. Give me Unbreaking. What the fuck? Why is it so hard for me to get Unbreaking all of a sudden? To be honest, I think I'd rather have Silk Touch than Unbreaking on my shovel. But like now, whenever the Pauls get into a fandom, like everyone just pretty much to their face calls them a LARPer, and they get, which I don't really like the LARPer discussion. Like, if I'm being totally completely honest, I think the LARPer discussion outside of the Paul brothers is dumb. I think that's like when I say glup shitto, that literally comes from Star Wars fans calling people LARPers for not knowing like every little thing about Star Wars, right? So I think that whole discussion is dumb, with the exception of the people that are very clearly doing it. And like the only one that like comes to mind immediately is, for me, like truly genuinely Logan Paul is like the person that comes to mind for me. When I think about like people that act like they're into something but they're like really not. So it, for me, like now it's nice to see like when Logan Paul did he did some One Piece thing recently, and everyone was like, Logan Paul, we know that you're not actually into One Piece, like stop doing this. It is kind of nice to see him just be like rejected by a fandom or something. It does suck though that Pokemon was the test case for that. You know what I mean? And now he's like, Logan Paul's a WWE wrestler, and he comes out with a PSA 10 Charizard in a case on a gold chain around his neck. It's like, brother, what are we doing? Even if I don't like it, I don't like the people who only played Gen 1 and only remember Charizard and Pikachu are still Pokemon fans, and I never call them LARPers. Yeah. I think for me, we died for Logan Paul's sins so One Piece could live. Yeah, exactly. Pokemon fell on that sword for One Piece. I think for me, like, whether or not, like, I guess to use the colloquial term, whether or not you're a LARPer comes down to, like, do you have real, genuine heart, like, love in your heart for this shit? You know what I mean? If if you stopped playing Pokemon at Gen 3 because you were in high school and it wasn't cool anymore and you just never got back into it, or if you started playing Pokemon because of, you know, fucking Pokemon Go and you've never touched a real Pokemon game a day in your life, to me, it makes no difference. As long as, like, for me, it's very vibes based. And it's like, if I can tell, like, if we're talking about it and I can tell that you got real, genuine love in your heart for this shit, then, like, that's chill with me, you know? To me, it's the malice of lying about being more knowledgeable about the franchise than you are. I don't think I know what you mean by that. To be completely honest, maybe I'm dumb. Oh, God. Okay, I need a temp one. There's literally no shot. It makes sense if you see an example. Okay. Because I think there's like... I don't know. Maybe I'm also too nice. Like, if somebody's just misinformed... In my head, I'm like, that's chill. Like, we can correct that. You can learn. Especially if they got real, genuine love in their heart for this shit. That's fine, man. I will teach you every Pokemon Glow Up Shido if you want. They refuse to take criticism or using it as a beacon for hatred for specific groups. Yeah, that's fair. That's valid. Yeah, whatever. You can't even spawn, dummy. But yeah, like that's what it comes down to for me. Is like if we're talking about Pokemon. Because I got friends that are like, I haven't played Pokemon since Pokemon Emerald, right? But when we start talking about Pokemon, if we keep it to Emerald, they're in it, you know? Like they got real genuine love in their heart for it. And it's like, that's fine. This infinite, this shit is pissing me off. This not being able to see bullshit. But it's like, yeah, you know? Or like, sometimes if we're like waiting between games, if I'm really bored, I'll pull up like one of those, like, who's that Pokemon websites, and I'll just start doing that. And then, you know, fucking Glamora shows up on screen, and they're like, what is that thing? And then, you know, you say it, and they're like, oh, cool. You know? Like, I definitely, I hate the argument of, like, Pokemon has run out of, like, ideas for Pokemon. Because my go-to... whenever I hear someone say that, I kid you not, is Magnemite. Like, whenever someone's like, man, new Pokemon designs are trash, I'm just like, cool, man. Like, explain Magnemite. Like, what are we talking about here? Have you seen Goldeen? Poliwrath is just angry Poliwhirl? Exactly. I think for me, it's like the Poliwag line, other than Politoed kind of destroys it. I like conceptually, I think is really creative and interesting. Of like, Like, even if Poliwrath is just angry Poliwhirl, is like, what if a tadpole never turned into a frog? I think is really, like, creative and interesting. What the fuck is Magnemite? Doesn't mean I don't like it anyway, too. Yeah. Like, I think the evolution line is an interesting concept. I think Poliwhirl to Poliwrath low-key feels like they gave up a little bit. And, like, I think it's a magnet with mites. The gif of Drake and Yachty in the Verizon store. Duh. But, like, Magnemite's just a magnet. You know what I mean? And then there's, like, Grimer and Muck and Coughing and Wheezing. Like, those guys are just pollution. Geodude is just rock with arms. Yeah, Magneton is just 3 Magnemites. And people talk about Gen 1 like it's peak design. Graveler, rock with 4 arms. Geodude, rock with 2 arms. Golem is harder rock with 2 arms and 2 legs. Miltank is just a cow. So I don't think, you know, I don't think Pokemon designs over the years have... Yeah, Tauros is just a bowl. Yeah. Pidgey and Spearow. Can we talk about it? They had 2 different evolution lines in Gen 1 that were just a bird. I know right now, in Generation 10, when Pokemon Winds and Waves comes out, if there's 2 different evolution lines that are just a bird, I think Pokemon would get, like, crucified for it. Like, fully, I think Pokemon would get crucified if they had 2 different evolution lines that were both just a bird. So I think that, like, that argument has always... Oh, wait. I didn't see there was... Twitch chat was still hanging out. What about Furret? That's so unique. Yeah, Furret. It's... Furret, just a ferret. But that's the thing, though. It's nostalgia baiting and unwillingness to try new things. Yeah. That's the thing, though. I think this is when it circles back to the like, genuine versus LARPer conversation. I think if you've got real love in your heart for Pokemon, or for, like, any fandom, you're just like, yeah. That's why this conversation keeps happening, yeah. 100%. Just people unwilling to try. But I think for me, it comes back to always, like, with anything you could possibly be into, you just, at some point, cope and take the good with the bad. And, like, sometimes, yeah, maybe sometimes it is just a bird. But then sometimes you get some shit and it's heat. You know? It's the same thing with Minecraft, right? sometimes they update Minecraft and it's the Nether update, and then sometimes they update Minecraft and it's the bees. And it's like, yeah, you just kind of... You just kind of look at the whole product, you know? I don't know where my waystone is, actually. Which is kind of a problem. I don't want to use a second waystone on the ancient city. But I might actually have to. Oh, no, I found it. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to create a waypoint. Ancient city. The thing is, for me, I actually like a lot of those standard Pokemon. Okay, see, here's the thing. Here's the real shit. I think, because Pokemon at the end of the day is an RPG, right? I think having Finneon and Lumineon is just as important to Pokemon as an RPG as having, like, Arceus, Rayquaza, Charizard, right? It's good game design to have losers. It's good game design to have some Pokemon that are just a fish. Like, I think there's a benefit to that. It's good game design to have Rattata, to have Raticate, Caterpie. I think they, like, even though there's not really any situation ever where, you know, Raticate is like there's not really a situation where Raticate is ever going to be on your Hall of Fame team, right? That's just like, I think we can be honest with ourselves when we say that. But I do think, A, you need stepping stones that are fairly normal to, like, introduce you to the world you're getting into. And B, I think it helps with, like, I don't know if the word I'm looking for is, like, perspective or, like, maybe, like, relativity. I don't know if that's necessarily... That was the perfect shovel pull. Oh, my God. That was beautiful. Can we talk about it? That was awesome. Yeah, I think, like, if like only the really cool, really strong, I think part of, like, what makes the really cool, really strong Pokemon really cool and strong is that, like, mentally you're kind of, like, as much as you're comparing them to the other Pokemon in their weight class, you're also comparing them to, like, the Caterpies. And you also compare them to, like, you know, the Butterfrees and the Finneons and the Lumineons. And I think the other thing is it helps just, like, flesh the world out. And it helps kind of, like, ground the world, too, in a way. I'll take Silk Touch. I'll take Efficiency 4. Yeah, we'll do Efficiency 5 Silk Touch. I think it helps, like, ground the world too, and it, like, helps the special Pokemon feel more special. It'd be weird if Gyarados was one of the lamest. Exactly. This is helping me realize that I am a normal functioning member of society. what I wanted. I need like fortune 2 or 3. Honestly, I can re-roll this. That was kind of trash. Efficiency, nope. This is how I lose all my levels that I just got. Remember when I had 60 levels? Okay. That's fine, I guess. I'll just take a normal pickaxe. I can get fortune at some point. Remember like an hour ago when I said we were going to do something? Let's do that thing now. 60 Revels. Hey, man. Hey, now. You're an all-star. Get your game on. Go away. Hey, now. But I do think, like, in terms of, like, if everything is special, nothing is special. I will say, like, I saw Supergirl yesterday. And I think, like, weirdly... Okay, what level is all this stuff going down to? 64. Okay. Oh, yeah, that was worth it. I think that was one of my biggest complaints about the movie. Was... like, the entire thing takes place in space. And there weren't many other races that looked human. And it was very much so a like if everything is special then nothing is special situation. I think that's like a good example of it. Which I understand, like when you're in space, not everything should look human. Right? Like I understand the argument of like yeah, like why even make the movie take place in space if you don't want to design aliens? That's okay. So in the movie, all of the alien races that were shown, like all of them were like designed like alien species. Like none of the alien species looked like humans, which I understand the argument of like you're making a movie in space, they should look not like they shouldn't look human. But I think it's the same like perspective thing. You know? Like I think the movie benefits if there's at least like one character that doesn't have a speaking role looks like a person. Looks like a human. That could also be part of it too, in all honesty, is that like all of the unnamed, unspeaking background characters look like aliens, and then all of the named speaking characters look like humans. I think part of that might also be the reason I feel the way I do about it. But I think like, man, my game really doesn't like this, huh? But I think you really do benefit from having that like variety of it. And I think that kind of it like weirdly pulled me out of it. And I also think like all the background characters kind of looking how they do. I enjoy looking, maybe I'm weird. I enjoy looking in the background of shots of movies I watch just to see. I think sometimes like that's where like the interesting stuff in the movie happens, especially if you're like, you know, if you're trying to make like a deeper analysis of the movie, I think that's where a lot of it happens. Oh, I'm getting a call. Hang on. Hello? Okay. I'll be right back, chat. I was called for spider duty. Hi, Wandy, why are you here? Wandering trader jump scare. Problem is I can't see him. He's kind of just here forever. But yeah, I like looking at like the background of movies. So when I'm looking in the background and all of the background characters look kind of the same, I think it like he walked right up to me and then hid. Really? That's crazy. I think like for me, the background just kind of turned into like TV static, kind of. I also have been trying to like. Oh, I'm gonna kill him. Wait, do you have anything for me? That's pretty cool looking. But I don't have... Wait, do I have 24 emeralds? Hang on. Hang on. I doubt I have 24 emeralds, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least look and hope. But to go into like a broader analysis of the Supergirl movie, I definitely watching it. I only have 13. I heart side tangents. True. I mean, that's what we come here for, isn't it? In Supergirl, I can definitely like see its faults and failures. I don't have any... I didn't personally have any issues with the writing of the movie. Like, it was a fairly coherent plot. I think a lot of the... I think the set designs were really cool. I was satisfied with the acting. I liked Millie Alcock as Supergirl. Whoever they cast to play Ruthie, I liked her. I liked Jason Momoa as Lobo. Oh, there he is. I had no complaints there. For me, like, my complaints of the movie came down to the background character designs. I think they tried too hard to make them all look like eccentric. Which we literally just talked about. Sometimes you need plain boringness. So the eccentric ones are special. My biggest complaint of the movie is I think... Now, I'm not smart enough to know if it's a time thing or a money thing or if those things are technically, like, linked. But I think the VFX team just needed more, to be honest. Like, they either didn't have the budget they needed or they didn't have the time they needed. And I think that's where the majority of, like, the faults and failures kind of show. And then to critique the criticism of the movie, I think I'm willing to admit... Here's the thing. I'm willing to admit that was David Krumholtz good, or was he just as washed up as I think he is? What else was he in? Because he was the villain. He's the villain, right? He's in Oppenheimer, but I've never seen that. Numbers? I've never seen that. He looked so familiar to me. Do I remember him from the Santa Clauses? Probably. I think he was decent. Because I saw the movie yesterday, I've been thinking about it all day. I think I remember him from the Santa Claus. So I've been thinking about how I feel about the villain of Supergirl all day. The villain in Supergirl is written very shallow, traditionally evil. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I think it's very easy to say, like, when you watch the movie, it's very easy to say that he is evil for evil's sake, and the character, like, has no depth. But here's the thing. It is a comic book movie. And sometimes, in comic books, the villain is just evil for the sake of being evil. And that's just how they are. So I don't think it's necessarily a problem. I think I have landed pretty neutral on the villain. I should use regular dirt for this. You're probably right. I mean, do I have to save the grass blocks? We have the Silk Touch shovel, but we can use regular dirt for this. I'm not mad. Especially because I think after after like Black Panther 1 and after Black Panther 1 and Infinity War and Endgame, when those movies were praised for having like a sympathetic villain that you can understand the reason that they're doing what they're doing. It felt like every comic book movie was kind of... Okay, now you have to die. You could have lived, but you got in my way. It kind of felt like every comic book movie was trying for a little while to have like a sympathetic villain that you could understand their rationale for doing what they're doing. I think every once in a while, it's awesome to see someone kick a dude's ass just because the fucking villain is just evil. Yeah, it's kind of a breath of fresh air to just have a guy like, okay, how long has Supergirl been out? It's been out for a week, right? I have a strict 1 week. Has it been out for 2 weeks? No, it's 1 week. It's a week tomorrow. I'm talking about. I'll talk about specifics about the movie. In the movie, what is the guy's name even? Oh! David Krumholtz isn't even the villain in the movie. David Krumholtz plays Supergirl's dad. Wait. Who's the fucking villain? Matthias Schoenarts. This was the guy that I was like, I've fucking seen you in something. Maybe I haven't. Maybe he just like has a face that I've seen somewhere, but I've never seen anything he's done. Or maybe I've just seen his face in the... Oh, that's the Django TV series. Yeah, I don't know what I've seen this guy in. Oh, the Old Guard. I've seen him in the Old Guard. That's the movie I saw him in. Fucking... Anyways... Maybe you've seen... I have seen him in Supergirl. But I've also seen him in the Old Guard. But in the entire plot of Supergirl, Krem, the villain, is stuck on this planet because his ship gets blown up. Supergirl then lands on this planet because it has a red sun, and the red sun suppresses her powers so she can get drunk, and she's like on a bender for her birthday. So she's on this planet with her ship, and Krem, the villain, steals her ship. Crypto notices, starts running towards him to like alert Supergirl that, hey, this random guy is stealing our ship. And then the villain shoots Crypto with this dart that like paralyzes him. And if she doesn't get the antidote back in 3 days, Crypto dies. So it's like a race against time story, which I think when executed on well is done really good, and I think when it's executed on poorly, it does really bad. I think this movie did it pretty good. I think there is a real sense of urgency in everything that Supergirl does and everything that Kara does, there is like a real genuine sense of urgency. And like she's kind of like sloppy because of it. Does that make sense? Like she's kind of in the beginning of the movie acting before she thinks, because she's only thinking about crypto, which I think like does a really good job of like establishing that sense of urgency. Pokemon Lab right here, huh? I'm just trying to think, because the farm comes out to here. Like, maybe it is here. I just don't want to build it at like a 45-degree angle. Can I be honest? And then we got something else I have to put over there. I don't know what's going to go over there yet, but something else has to go over here. Maybe I do just plop it like right here. But I think it does a really good job of like establishing that sense of urgency really early. And then Krem also the like, I don't know, I guess maybe like secondary character is the right term or word. Ruthie, Krem also like killed her whole family, so she also wants to track down Krem. So there's an entire almost like subplot about Ruthie wanting to kill Krem and Supergirl like telling her like, hey, that won't solve your problem. Like, you won't feel better for killing him. It's just gonna ruin you forever. I don't know why. I almost want this to have like a jut out right here as well. Like, small little thing. I don't know what's gonna go here yet, but I want it to be there. So that's kind of like the driving force of the movie. And then throughout the movie, you learn that Krem is like literally the worst of the worst. Like, he lives on a planet. Pretty standard superhero stuff, but like well executed. Yeah, like I think the movie does a good job of like making it pretty clear that Kara does not want to be like a superhero like Superman is. And throughout the movie, you get like flashbacks of Kara growing up, because she actually like got to grow up on Krypton. So it's like Superman leaves when he's a baby. He has no memories of Krypton. Kara is 16 when she leaves Krypton, or she's old, right? Like in the scene where she leaves Krypton, she is Millie Alcock playing her. So she's actually like giving up her people more than learning about them. So it does a pretty good job of establishing like she's still, however many years later in the modern times, still like grieving that part of it. And then I forgot what I was saying. Fuck, what was I saying? So they do a really good job of that, I thought. And then throughout the movie, you learn that Krem is like the worst person. Like, he lives on a planet that is essentially Little St. James. Like, imagine like Jeffrey Epstein, but instead of an island, he has a planet. The islands of space, they call them. So you're like, damn, this guy is just like evil. Like, capital E, comic book evil, dude. I don't know what block palette to use for this Pokemon lab, to be honest with you. That's kind of why I'm like running around doing nothing. I'm trying to think of what block palette to use, but because I think it should be maybe like stone, like cobblestone and stuff. So it like visually looks different from everything over here. Because like this is wood and copper, this is wood and copper, that's wood. I think I want the Pokemon lab to be like a lot of like stone and stuff. Also, so it kind of matches this maybe. But should I do stone bricks or just like stone and deep slate? But yeah, you kind of get the idea that like Krem is a very comic book evil person. And I think that's like good. And I really think like I like the action scenes personally. All of the complaints I've seen about the movie are, I think, oh yeah, to loop back around to what I was saying, like, I don't know, man, fucking 20 minutes ago. I think whenever I hear or I see that a female-led movie is getting a lot of flack, I'll admit it's maybe a flaw of mine to assume it's a sexism thing. Immediately when someone says, like, oh, like, I just told someone, you know, if I tell you I saw Supergirl and your knee-jerk reaction is, oh, I heard that movie was bad, and you haven't seen the movie, I assume it's a woman thing. I always, and it's a flaw of mine, I'll admit. If it's a female-led movie and you tell me it's dog shit and then don't immediately elaborate, if I have to prod you to elaborate on your thoughts, I assume you don't like it because there's a woman in it. And I'll admit, it's a bit of a flaw of mine. I should probably give people more grace when it comes to things like that. But I also think it's like particularly worse with comic book movies. I think it is particularly worse with comic book movies because I heard that movie sucks would be my first response if you told me you saw it and it has nothing to do with sex. That's all I've heard about it though. Like, I think it's like reasonable to like hear bad things about a movie and then be like, oh, I heard that movie's not good. But like, I don't know. It just like, it always strikes me as weird. I think the reason it strikes me as weird, to be completely honest, is because when I see a movie that has a male lead and it doesn't have good reviews, if I tell somebody I see it, I'm way less likely to get that as a reaction. So I think like in my head, that's why. Like when I saw Ant-Man Quantumania and I said, hey, I saw Ant-Man Quantumania this weekend, it was, oh, how did you like it? Not, I heard that movie's dog shit. And I always ask why. I'm like, well, like, or if someone says like they don't like a movie, I always ask why. Because I want to know. Like, where are your thoughts coming from, right? What about the movie did you not like? And, like, maybe we can have, you know, like, maybe we can have, like, a discussion about the movie, right? And, like, oh, I didn't like this, this, and this. And it's like, oh, I didn't notice that, right? But if I say, I saw Supergirl, and then someone says, oh, that movie sucks. This is a real interaction I had. This is not like, I'm not making up a guy and getting mad at it. I saw Supergirl. That movie sucks. Have you seen it? No. Why do you think it sucks? I don't know. It's just what I've read. What? Another pet peeve. I think I've heard that movie sucks and that movie sucks are very different statements. But, and also, so like I was curious because I didn't see anything about what people were saying about Supergirl. And I was like, okay, let's look at it. What are people saying about Supergirl? I thought it was pretty good. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, it's the best movie ever. I'd watch it 1,000 times. Right? I've said it. I think the VFX team needed more time. Right? So I look it up. I'm like, what are people saying about Supergirl? And they're like, oh, the cinematography wasn't that good. Wrong. The cinematography, amazing. I liked it. I like the cinematography. And then the review I read, they're elaborating more. Awesome. Let's elaborate. There weren't any memorable cinematic shots. What does that mean? What does that mean? There weren't any memorable cinematic shots. Is that the bar? Is the bar like, oh my God, the way that they framed this one thing, I'm going to remember it forever? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. A lot of movies I've liked that don't have memorable cinematic shots to them. Like, are you... Can I be honest? If I'm being completely honest, I think Superman... I think the shots in Superman that James Gunn wanted to be memorable, I think those are my least favorite shots of the movie. Like, I think in Superman, when he's fighting all the Lex robots and he like lasers all of them and then it like zooms into the Superman logo, I'm just like, it's cool, but I don't think we had to do that 3 times in the movie. So I think like if you're filming Supergirl and you don't do that, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. So I think for me, I think the reason that I think the complaints about Supergirl are like hidden misogyny is more because the complaints people are voicing with the movie in my head aren't real. Like in my head, they don't like the movie because it's Supergirl and then they're just making shit up so they don't have to say, I don't like the movie because it's Supergirl. And I'll admit, that might be a flaw of mine to jump. That's a lot of conclusions and hoops to jump through. can't just enjoy a movie and be done with it. Okay. I think I liked the movie, and then I took the poison pill, and now I'm upset that the poison pill's hurting my tummy. Can I be honest? I very much so could have watched the movie, enjoyed it, and been done with it. But I have the little cymbal clapping monkey in the back of my brain that wants to know what other people think. And then, like, I want to know why people think that way. Like, I think for most people, I think for like probably 90% of people, if you said, I didn't like Supergirl, and then they asked you why, and then you said, I don't know, it just really wasn't, wasn't the movie for me. I can't really like put my finger to it. I think for most people, that's like, cool, man. That's a good answer. For me, I'm going to poke and prod until I get something out of you. And then okay. And then there was the feedback that was, I didn't like the movie because Supergirl is a woman. Which was just like crazy and like in its own right. Like, the one that immediately comes to mind was former Fox News host Megyn Kelly saying on record, we're tired of the forced girl boss garbage in Hollywood. Which, like, legitimately, if you see the movie, makes no sense. Unless you have, like, the media comprehension tools of a 4-year-old, it literally makes no sense. Because Supergirl in that movie is an extremely flawed character. I don't know how I want this to look. Can I be completely honest? Like, what does like, okay, if I search Pokemon Lab, what are we gonna find? But like, it's just like not an applicable reaction to that. Like, I read that Megyn Kelly said that. I saw the clip that she said that, where she says that. And I drew the conclusion she didn't watch that movie. Can I be honest? I don't think she watched the movie. And then I saw another criticism. It was of the writing of the movie. And they said that the whole plot was just and then. Like, everything is like, this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. And you know what I thought? If you could say that as a bad faith interpretation of any movie's plot ever. Any movie that has existed ever, you could just say this happens, and then this, and then this, and then this. And that's like a criticism I've seen like a couple times of movies. And it has literally never made sense to me. Because if you're trying to interpret any story ever in bad faith, you can boil any story down to that. You can boil the Odyssey down to that. So, like, I don't think the criticisms are real. I think they're people that hate to see women in positions of power. Oh yeah. So okay, looking at the Pokemon labs, I really like don't. I really don't know how I want this. Because there's this one. That's Kalos. What if I just search like research lab? Fossil research lab. Outside. Okay, these all look stupid. Oh, that would be cool if I put like a dig site outside of it. I just don't know how I want the actual building to look. Please don't show me porn. Please don't show me porn. Please don't show me porn. Like, okay, what am I looking for? What is the name of this building? They're all just square. Old research lab. Outside. Okay, I kind of like the idea of of sleeping. Oh no, I can just do this actually. I kind of like the idea. Have I caught Ditto? Yeah, I have. Of moving this. Maybe we do just put this like over here. Let me go get more netherrack. The problem is, like, if you're coming down here, I don't want the Pokemon lab to be the only thing you see. That's kind of what I don't want. Grab this again. Like over here, if the building was like this, and then if it was kind of like this L shape, and then right here is like the dig site, right? Like they kind of built the building around like a dig site, maybe. And then this would be the structure. Is this lined up? It is. And then, oh, that's not lined up though. Wait, I think it was lined up. I think I'm just dumb. Be so real? I think it was just dumb. I think I'm just dumb. But yeah, I think L shape, fossil dig site right here. Which means we'll probably have to fill this in, but that's fine. And then the door would be like somewhere here. It would connect back to the main path. We can still put something over here. And then we can still get something right here. And then how wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it's like 7 blocks wide. I think that's fine. I don't know how I want it to look at all. Because I don't think I want to do this, right? I think that is kind of boring. Maybe we can just do this. Start with like stone brick walls all the way around. Do stone bricks give like class, or do they give medieval? Or does it kind of depend on what we do with the rest of it? Because then we can put like the one door here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put like a second door here, and then put like a little table and chair right here. Let's build this wall and see how I feel about it. Build a wall. Build a 20-foot wall, and then invest in the 25-foot ladder factory. Narts. I think there's enough wall for me to work with. It's actually not enough wall for me to work with. I lied. I lied. I'm a liar. I'm a lying liar. How is there still not a Chansey, man? I mean, what are we doing? I mean, what are we... I caught a Cinderace. I feel like we're not... It's just not making sense. Here's the thing, Batman. It makes no sense if you think about it. You see, Cinderace is less likely to spawn than Chansey is. And I have the kicks that Chansey is supposed to spawn. Let's build a wall. Let's build a wall. Boom. And then I just want to build out a little bit of a... Excuse me, Shroomish. Probably just build this whole thing out. I think I have the stone bricks for it. So this is probably going to end up taller. I do want it to be kind of a tall building, right? Because one, I want it to be multiple floors. Two, I've been trying to get better at building with like sight lines, and I think one thing that I learned from Disney World is something makes something feel immersive is if you can't see over it, right? Like if you're coming down here, or like if you're on our little island, and while you're walking around, if you can't really see past into the world, I think it makes our little space seem a little more like contained, like its own little world. So you can really get like immersed in it with the Pokemon running around and everything. So I think it being taller kind of helps block that. And then, like, if this is the lab, then I think, like, where would the first, how tall is this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's make it taller. I think if we did like 9, 10, 11, what that allows us to do is, oh, am I out? Okay. Score Bunny too. Yeah, all my homies call him Scorb. I have not caught a Score Bunny yet. I think legitimately this is the last Pokemon I need of the Score Bunny line. I think I've caught Reboot, caught Cinderace. Now we have Score Bunny as well. Double check the decks. So, oh no, I haven't caught Reboot. I actually low-key made that shit up. So if it's this tall, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there would be where the floor breaks, right? Or we could even go higher than that. Like if this is gonna go here, then we could actually have the floor break here, make the first floor like taller. Second floor can be like storage or something. And then we can put like nice big windows. Maybe it did need to be taller actually. Maybe that was actually fine. Then we can put some nice big windows in. Three. Boop, boop, boop. Yep, there. Yeah. Put like nice big windows in. We can even do it on like that side too. So I think, and then we could even do, I do like this, and then do this. Glass there, right? Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop. Give it like a little window frame. Something like that. I think I'm cooking. Based, thank you. A based window. Oh shit, that's upside down. And I think this is a good way. How the fuck did I do that though? I'm like confused by my own build. I think it's a good way to like add texture without, because that's why, truthfully, I think that's why a lot of people when they're building a Minecraft base, they do this, and then you go through and you put your walls like this. Like some people, actually I didn't do it that time, but a lot of times like I'll build a house like this even. And I think because just doing it that way, oh my god, now you have to die. Apology not accepted, I guess. I think a lot of times you do that as it's like a cheap, easy way to add texture into the build, add like depth and dimension to it. Um, I'm trying to get better at like not doing that. I think that's a good way to do it, kind of like that. And then if I look at some of the older research labs, again, yeah, even these look just like square. Like, isn't helpful. A lot of curved roofs in the Pokemon ones. Yeah, I guess we just have to like make a design from scratch. That's not centered. I'm an idiot for that. It's not bad. Do that. Bring the whole wall up to there. And then we could even go through with like and then like, you know, do stuff like this as well. Right? Just add little bits like that. One thing that like is intriguing to me as an idea, but on execution might low-key suck, is to do this. But I don't think I like that. I think this is making, maybe it makes it look like lampposty, if that makes sense. Like this is how I would decorate like a lamppost, not a building. Not really sure I like that. Just really, truthfully, just something I kind of thought of in the moment. But definitely this is something I can kind of mess around with too. I think I might drop into a world that has Axiom. Drop into a world that has Axiom and mess around and see what I can do. Maybe you can do like this. But I think that makes it look very, very homely, which I don't want. Yeah, drop into an Axiom world. I'll mess around. I'll see what can be done. Can I put the stone bricks into the chisel thing at all? That might be a changer. Oh, Muna, you got my hopes up, you fucking bitch. It does not. Nothing I can do. Really? That seems crazy. Okay. All right, I'll mess around a little bit. See what I end up deciding to do with that. Let me just get a whole bunch of cobblestone smelting. We're gonna need the bricks. These brick house. All right. Cool. Well, chat, I think this was fun. I had fun today. Chilling, hanging out, vibe sesh. It's always fun. But it is that time of the night where we must say good night and good morrow. I promise I'm gonna get the Switch set back up. I'm gonna get the Switch set back up. Promise. Okay? Next week we can play Pokemon Shield. Next week we can play Pokemon Shield. But for now, chat, it is that time of the night where we say good night, we say good morrow. Thank you guys for stopping by, hanging out. Really do appreciate it as always. I'm going to get out of here. What's up, Flight? Came in as the stream is ending. I am hopping out of here. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Did you just miss me? Yeah, we're heading out. Goodbye, chat. Good night. See you later. See you guys Tuesday. Maybe earlier. We'll see. Peace.